Well, we cannot make Neapolitan pizza every time we make pizzas, so we thought it was about time to do something different. So today it's New York style pizza. First up, it's the dough. We start out with a poolish. We started that yesterday, and that's basically like we always do. 300 grams of type 00 flour, 300 milliliters of water, 5 grams of honey and 5 grams of dry yeast, and you just mix it, cover it up.
Just with a spoon, not
just with a spoon,
mixer,
and leave it overnight. So let's get that pre-ferment, as it's called, into our mixer.
And that will just help on a taste, or?
It gives a lot of flavor because you let it ferment long. Actually, we are going to do this in a quick way for your home pizza. The dough will be finished in 2 hours and then we are baking. So it's good for fast and home style pizza. Then, because it is a New York style pizza where we want a crunchy bottom, not like the Neapolitan where you have the puffy crust on the side and then the bottom is a little bit thin and soft. We want a crunchy bottom, and that's why we're going in with 300 grams of fine semolina.
In the dough?
In the dough, yes, because that gives a much more crunchy, crusty dough.
That's good, and I won't have semolina all over my floor.
Well, that happens. Yeah. And then the same flour as we used for the poolish, 330 grams of that, 30 grams of salt. Don't be scared, sounds like a lot, it's not. You need salt in here. And then we're going in with 5 grams of dry yeast, and that's where we are doing this fast, because if you were doing this like restaurant style or pizza place style, you would mix the dough and then you would bulk ferment it overnight in your fridge, just using the poolish as your levain. But we are going to add in 5 extra grams of yeast, so this is finished in 2 hours. And then also for the crust, 50 grams of extra virgin olive oil. And that will help the crust become more crunchy together with the semolina. And then we have 300 milliliters of ice cold water. And that's important for the buildup of gluten, because yeast likes high temperature to grow, but gluten likes low temperature to develop that elasticity in the dough that we're looking for.
I see a conflict of interest.
Exactly. So we're going in right now with about half of our cold water, something like that, and then we let everything combine. And we will knead this no more than 15 to 20 minutes, because then the dough will start getting too warm. And when everything starts to get combined like this, then we're going to start streaming in a little bit of the water. Might be fourth. And now we let that absorb, and we will do that until we've spent all the water. That will allow the gluten to develop correctly, and you get that elasticity in the dough that makes it easy to digest. And now the dough is super tight and the ball is clean, so it's time to get it out of here. It's just amazing. This gluten master.
So noisy all this time.
A little bit of olive oil on your hands. And actually, I'll just do it with my hands because I had enough here. Just on the surface so nothing sticks here. This machine is just magnificent. Now we have a dough with very strong gluten. You see? Wow. When you take it up and you see the window pane you get here, this is the whole weight of the dough that's hanging in that. I don't know if you can see through the light coming through. Yes. It's amazingly strong. So we're just going to fold this into a nice taut round ball, because normally I would take it for a walk with my dough scraper, but after this kind of gluten buildup, it doesn't really function, so it works better. But see how glossy it is and totally non-sticky. That's what you get out of really good gluten network.
That's quite impressive, actually.
It's a fantastic little puppy there. A little bit olive oil over top here, just so we don't get any skin forming. And now we're gonna let this relax and rise for about an hour. And for our sauce, as I said, we are going to make different sauce than we usually do for our Neapolitan pizza, where we usually use, let's say, pomodoro canned tomatoes that we hand crush, or crushed tomatoes. But irrespective, you need a good quality of chopped tomatoes, canned. You want a smooth tomato sauce, in my opinion. You don't want chunks in there. So we're going to blend our sauce and add a little bit of flavor upgrades to make it a little bit better. So into our mixer with 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. There we go. And then we're going to add And now that's probably going to get a lot of hate from you guys out there, but trust me, this is good. You give it some tomato paste, a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste, maybe 1.5, let's say. That will add a significantly deeper flavor of the tomato sauce when we're going to eat it after. So it's going to be good. You're going to love it. Freshly cracked black pepper. Don't overdo it, but it needs some pepper. A drizzle of olive oil. I'm not measuring anything here. I'm just giving it, let's say, 1.5 tablespoons, something like that. So we get a little bit of oil in there. And then mountain oregano from Greece. About
a couple of tablespoons.
Something like that. So we get some flavor in the sauce because there are not so many ingredients on the pizza itself. And then I'm going to do something which is a little bit maybe untraditional. If there is anything traditional about a New York style pizza, I don't know. But this is oak smoked paprika. And I'm saying...
Nice addition.
Like a little bit more than half a teaspoon, I would say. You don't want it to overpower here, but you want to have a little bit of that in the background because it's very, very flavorful. Yeah. And then a good pinch of salt.
Or 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pinch means 2, actually. And then we're just going to blend this. And then when you
It has to be smooth, huh?
It has to be smooth, exactly. Okay. That's what I want on the New York style pizza. That's my take on it. If you don't agree out there, then do it the way you want it. You can leave it chunky, but here we have a nice ready sauce. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to do anything because...
We will cook in the oven.
Because actually canned tomatoes, they are actually cooked in the process of making them. So you don't have to cook them. And there we have a beautiful, smooth tomato sauce. I can give it a taste. That's just good in itself. It's been an hour, so let's see how our thing's done. And it looks beautiful. And look how it doubled in size and also relaxed, like beautiful. And you see, it's just good dough. That's what it is. Now we want to shape these and we want to make New York style pizza, as we've said 100 times now. And they are also typically a little bit bigger in diameter. So instead of these 260, 280 grams per dough ball, I think we're going to go for, let's say, 300 grams per dough ball. I have my proofing container ready. We're just going to give that a little bit of flour in the bottom. So when we put them in, we don't have anything sticking too much. And on top of my scale, I'm going to give it a little bit also. So I can scale out. Let's try and cut it up into some pieces that matches sort of that. So let's see the first one here. Wow, this dough is strong. I mean, let's see what it gives us. 298 grams.
Okay.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, I do.
2 grams off now. We just shape it nicely, close it in the bottom, so we get like a nice taut round ball like we did before with the whole dough. So we can allow it to rise here. So we leave that here and then make sure to give room for them, so because they will rise again.
They will grow, the babies.
Oh yeah, they grow a lot. That they do. Let's see how lucky I am this time. Okay, 330. I'll take a little bit off here. 302.
Perfect.
Not bad. And I'll continue making all of them, putting them in our proofing containers. And then...
And remember, guys, if you like our show, subscribe, give us a message or something to help us grow our channel.
Yes, so give us a like, subscribe, comment, ask us questions, suggest things we should make. Last one up. Let's see, let's check just to see how much it weighs. Okay, that's a little bit bigger, so 325. So.
That's mine.
Okay,
I call it.
You get the big boy then. Yeah. But no, if it's within 10, 15 grams, it doesn't matter that much. But we want to have them sort of the same size. And look, beautiful seam there on the bottom. Into the box, and then we're going to leave this for an hour to double in size, and then we're ready to bake some pizzas. All ready to go. Our dough balls are nice and double. They look beautiful. But before we start shaping, I just want to talk a little bit about ingredients, because for a classic New York style pizza, we have our beautiful tomato sauce. And then we have, in New York, you would have pepperoni. But pepperoni is a purely American invention, and I'm not a big fan. So here we are going with an Italian air-dried spicy salami.
Take it up a notch.
Take it up a notch.
Yeah.
And then we have some grated pecorino romano, I wanted to say. Yeah. And then we have fresh mozzarella. But if you take fresh mozzarella and slice it up and put it on a pizza, then you get this watery, saggy, runny thing on top. So these are cubed up, and then I have put them in a strainer in the fridge. So now I'm getting, I don't know if you can see that from top there. There is a little bit. But enough about that. Now it's about shaping pizza. So let me get this out of the way and take one of our beautiful puffy dough balls here. Then I have some fine semolina that we're just gonna put on both sides, because now we're gonna make New York style, so we're not worried about the air. We're not gonna make any crust on the sides, so we are simply just gonna flatten this out. And then we flip it over and we do the same, and we continue with that until it does not give us any more, and then we will change our method. But we wanna get all the air out, because on a New York style pizza, you want toppings all the way out to the edge of the pizza. And then we can go gravity a little bit, but actually we can also go overhand and then pull it like this. I tend to like this method better because it takes it a little bit
gentle, let's
yeah,
say.
it goes a little bit too fast, the other one, and you risk to rib it. And then we can take it over our knuckles and shape it out like this. So it gets to about the size we want. I would say that's not big enough. We want that 11, 12 inches, 30 centimeters, something like that. Nice and big. I think that starts looking good, don't you think? Mm-hmm. If we stretch it a little bit. And we can always shape it again when we put it on the peel. A little bit of semolina on the pizza here. Not the coarse semolina. Here I'm using fine semolina like we put in the dough. We put it on the peel. Here we are. Beautiful it will be. Put it up here so you can see also what's going on. And we will stretch it at the end. So, on with a scoop of our sauce. Because the trick with this, when you do home oven, is that we are gonna par bake it. So we don't bake it in one go, because if I'm putting it in my very, very warm wood-fired grill, then you bake it in one go. But I can't do that now, because then I won't get the crust and the crunchy crust on the bottom. So we do this, and then a drizzle of olive oil. And then you're gonna follow me to the oven, preheat it to as much as it can, high setting, with a fan running and a pizza stone inside, and it's been heating for about an hour, I would say. So let's see if we can get this off. Perfect, there we go. We're gonna let that bake for 1.5 to 2 minutes, depending on your oven, until it gets slightly par baked, so it has a crust on the bottom. Then we take it out to finish the toppings. So see you in 2 minutes. 2 minutes in, and let me show you how it looks. There we have our par baked pizza with a little bit of a crust already. You can feel it in the bottom, and that's what you want right now. Now we want to go in with mozzarella. Even though we drained it, don't overdo it. Because it is
still a wet cheese.
Exactly, it is a wet cheese, but you could go with hard mozzarella grated if you want to, but this gives so much better flavor in my opinion. So
the others like fake mozzarella.
Yeah, this is the right stuff. And
I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think so too. Couple of lumps here, and I think we are good to go. And then we're gonna go up with our nice piquant salami, and we're gonna put it nicely. Presentation is a lot of, you also eat with your eyes. That's.
And I have to take pictures for the thumbnail also.
That's also true. We have to remember the thumbnails. And then the pecorino, extra flavor, a little bit of saltiness. It's a little bit more, it's more piquant than Parmesan. It's, I don't know, I like it.
Yeah, me too.
But don't overdo it, because you want this to be like, it's not a 4-cheese pizza. This is a New York style pizza. And that's all about it. Then it goes back in for approximately 3 to 4 minutes. And that is our take on a perfect New York style pizza. Let's see how we did on this one. Well, definitely it feels good, the crust. And see how it stands up, perfectly crunchy on the bottom. That's what you want to see.
How is it?
First of all, the dough is fantastic. That little bit of semolina makes it a whole difference, and the crunch in the bottom is perfect. Spicy Italian air-dried salami, it beats pepperoni any day. But you can do this in your home oven. You don't need any wood-fired special things. Just use it this way, par-bake the pizza, make it finished afterwards. You have perfect New York-style pizza. This is definitely a do-over for us, that's for sure. So, cheers.